Hey guys, it is Wednesday, August 20th, 2025, and I'm back with some free VST plugins to help you with your musical adventures and endeavors. All right, guys, I'm tired. Let's jump right into this really quickly. The free VST plugins for today are as follows. So first up here, we have vaults. We talked about vaults last week. We're going to talk about it a little bit more today and go through some of the other instruments that are there. Next up, we're going to talk about Ample Guitar M2 Lite. And finally, we're going to talk about YS Elegant. YS Elegant is from the developer Yuri Semenov. Let's jump to the download pages real quick. So for YS Elegant, they don't have like an official site or anything. They do have this Google Drive page, and they have a ton of plugins already here, so you could check out and download some of these. The only thing I don't like about this developer's plugins is there's not much information about the plugin. They do post YouTube videos about them. There's no speaking, I don't think, and I think they're from Russia. So if you do find like anything, it's usually on a Facebook page, and then you have to use the translation feature in your browser. But I'm giving you guys a direct link to the Google Drive folder that they provided, and all you have to do is just scroll down to the bottom where we get to the YS. Where is it? YS. Should be in here. I know I saw it earlier. I think it's populating. There we go. For some reason, the rest of the drive was not populating. So under where it says YS, we're looking for YS Elegant. So here it is right here. I'm assuming this is PC only, but there goes the download for the zip file. Download it, install it, go, go, go. All right, so next up, let's look at Ample Guitar M2 Lite from Ample Sound. The developer is Ample Sound. So they have their download page here from their website. They do have full versions of this guitar plugin and other guitar plugins if you're interested, but right here is where we'd be getting the download. And we have two options to download Ample Guitar M Lite version 2. And this is the Crow Hill Company's development here, Vaults from the Crow Hill Company. So right here, this is the download page. Well, not the download page. This is the product page for Mallet Piano. So we're gonna check this out in a bit, but just to go through the quick run through, I did talk about this last week. But the Crow Hill Company, the way it works is you have to download the Crow Hill app. Before you do that, you want to go up here, create an account, log in to that account. And once you're in the account on the website, you can go to where it says free, and you're going to be directed with the download link to download and install the Crow Hill app. When you are here, you can click and claim on the website, add to cart, and you can add these. Go to checkout, and once you're done the checking out process, all these VSTs, the sampled instruments, this is a sample instrument player. I'm doing a bad job of explaining this because I did all this last week. But this is the sample instrument player similar to Contact. So they offer these sampled instruments. You'll add them to cart, finish the process, and once you finish the process, these will be added to your account. Then you're going to open the PreRoll app that you installed on your computer. Once you open that and it's logged into, you will see everything that you have claimed in your account, always in the app, no matter what computer you're on. So once you claim it, it'll be there pretty much forever until they stop supporting it, which they shouldn't. So the trick with the whole vaults thing is that they release a new one every month or so, maybe every 2 months. And they'll have 6 here free. And once the next new one comes in, it'll knock this last one off the list. So we got 6 spots. And once this one in the 6th spot gets knocked off the list, it will not be available for free anymore. So you want to claim it and add it to your account before it gets knocked off the list. You add it to your account, it'll be there forever. Once it gets knocked off the list, it goes down here where you can pay $5. So these are some of the original instruments that were created when this was in beta mode and after it came out of beta mode to the first release client mode. They've been doing some revamping of their business model, and this is where we're at right now. So that is, once again, the Vaults sample player broken down. All right, let's jump over to the DAW and see what we got going on for today. So wrote a song to this. This right now is just the piano, and I have a little guitar part, which we're gonna look deeper into. Song is written. I have a lot of instrumentation and recording to do after this and tomorrow. And between tomorrow or Friday, when I do the next live stream, you guys will see this production much more fleshed out and realized. But this is what we have so far. Check this out. All right, so it's a bit formatted already. You have the verse section, intro verse, and then the guitar comes in pre-chorus going into the hook. So that's the whole thing. So with this guitar, this piano, I should say, for the PreRoll app, last week I was using, I think it was some strings. Yes, the strings. Yes, I think it was the latest thing they had. Let's double check that. Go to the site. Free. Okay. Yes, the lo-fi strings is what I was using last week. Now I'm using the piano. I like this piano. Has a very nice, intimate vibe and very expressive. Check out the ending of the song and you'll hear what I'm talking about. So very expressive. So let's check out what some of these instruments sounds like. I'm gonna play it on this section right here. I don't know how good it's gonna sound because this was written with a piano in mind, this piano. So we click on this menu here, the 3-bar menu, and you get to your presets. So let's listen to the mallet piano. Solo that. Interesting. Let's hear something else. Celeste a tone. RD strings. Lo-fi strings. Shimmer guitar. Interesting. Let's check out this choir on this part right here. Interesting. All right, let's go back to the Attic Grand. And like I explained last week, down here we have smash here. I think smash is most likely compression. I'm not sure what here is. So you have these two controls here. Echo and splash is delay and reverb. These two effects or options usually don't change. But the smash, the here, and then these two controls in the middle will change also. Reverse and offset. So that is vaults. Those are some presets for you. So now next up we have ample guitar Lite. So this one is a bit of a gem. It can be a bit complicated. So you have different modes. You have solo mode, you have strumming mode, and then you have regular keyboard mode where you could just play it on your keyboard regularly. But if you want that realistic strumming vibe, you'd have to switch to strumming mode. And the way it works is down here you can select chords. So you have 2 pages here, page 1 and page 2. 12 slots per page, so you can set up to 24 chords. And based on where the chord is, like we have chords here in slot 1, you can then use a specific MIDI note to trigger that. It is already designed. I think by default, slot 1, if you hover, it'll tell you. So it says C1. So you put in a C1 note, it's gonna trigger that chord. In addition to that, we have patterns. So this is where it gets interesting because you can dial in your strumming pattern. So for right here, this is the strumming pattern. And we're on pattern 2. Let's go to pattern 1. So it's playing this chord right here. which is a, this is tiny on my screen, guys, bear with me. It's a C sharp major 7th chord. You can click on this and you get the option to change the note and then the voicing of the chord. They have a lot of voicing options there. And then, so that's the chord that the pattern is gonna keep playing. And then we can switch patterns 1 through 8. I'm wondering if there's more patterns. There might be more. Yes, we're in block 1. And you might be able to switch to block 2, probably. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna mess with that right now. But I'm assuming you could do more than 12 patterns. Sorry, more than 8 patterns. So pattern 1 is this right here. And the way it works is you can draw in your patterns. So we have muted strum, we have up strum, and then we have down strum. You have single notes here, and then we have the different mutes. So downstroke, bass mute, we have downstroke, treble mute, and we have upstroke mute. So you can draw in long notes, short notes, and set up different rhythms. So you have the rhythm pattern and you have the chord selection, and you can trigger those with different MIDI notes. So over here, the chord selection will be in a certain MIDI range as far as certain octave. So most likely from like C1 to C2. And then over here, it'll be like C4 to C5, where you can start triggering notes within that octave range. Sorry, triggering patterns. So that's basically what I have up here. It's the notes and then the strumming pattern. And once you get that dial in, you'll get your sequence going with your chord progression. These are patterns that I created just for this, to play along with the piano. So they also have a tab section, which I'm not that familiar with. I've never messed with it. I'm sure guitarists will understand it more than I do. There is an effects section where you have this stomp pedal board. So they have compressor, we have overdrive, there is an EQ, chorus, phaser, delay, and reverb. And we have a wah pedal over here. You can turn on the wah and do some wah things. There's an editing section here, settings, and we have different stereotypes. Stereo 1, stereo 2, mono 1 and mono 2. It'll just play with the how everything sounds and the stereo feel, stereo width, based on what you're going for. It also has some options here on the main page. You click this main button and you have some options here where you can use key triggers to turn on sus and palm mute mode. right here. So you can use key triggers to turn that on. So now it's just playing palm mutes. All palm mutes. Now we're back to sustain. And if you hover, you will get tooltips on what these are. So this is to trigger hammer-ons, and they give you all information about that. Right here we have some mic settings where you can turn up or down the volume for mic 1, mic 2, the main overall volume. There's panning, stereo width. There is a doubling feature where you turn it on and it'll give you like that double track piano sound. Sorry, guitar sound. Double tracked guitar sound. So let's see what that sounds like. Here we go. And if you're listening on the right system, you can feel the difference. I'll switch that back. But that'll help if you play with the width, all that good stuff. And then in the editing section, in the settings section, close this. And let's close this. But if you play with the width knob along with having the double feature, it's gonna give it a wider feel. And I'm sure they're like offsetting the left and the right very slightly to really give you that stereo width feel. So this is very handy. You gotta kind of sit down and learn how to trigger it. Takes a bit of fiddling around, but once you understand what you're trying to do, you know what chords you're trying to lay down, and you come up with a nice rhythm pattern, you can get a lot done. It does the strumming. You can also trigger, you know, short, long, single notes also along with your chord strumming. So it gives you a good amount of options. If you kind of sit down and play with it for a little bit, it'll make sense to you. As long as you know your chord progression, you know what chords, you can just dial it all in, chord, rhythm, and keep switching patterns, rhythm patterns. So that's what I did here. All right, let's talk about Elegant. Elegant is a compressor. This is from Yuri Semenov. And basically, it is emulating a very popular studio hardware called the Avalon compressor. That's what this is. There's a lot of knobs here to turn, which can be good or bad. But there's a lot of knobs here to turn. So we have input gain, preamp color, which goes from line to mic and somewhere in between. There's high pass frequency, filter here, knob, dry wet knob, EQ on, comp on. This is your EQ section here. So this is the preamp section, EQ section, and you have all these options here with sidechain, filters, all that. So we have our threshold, we got a compression knob, and then we have attack and release knobs. We have some schematic knobs here, EQ to comp, sidechain on, off, VU. Not VU, this is very mu. So I guess it can turn on very mu compression modes. And see, the tooltip is explaining smooth, transparent compression, very mu compression applies gentle compression, adding warmth without harshness. We got our meter in the middle here. And then over here, we have our EQ section. So we got bass, mid-lows, mid-highs, treble, entropy. We have this channel button here. And then we have the different switches here for the EQ type, as far as if you want a very tight or a very loose bell curve. They're showing you here that the high and the low bass and treble is a shelf. And then you can dial in the Q width for the shelves. And then down here we have the gain for each band. No, sorry, down here is the frequency for each band. So you can select the frequency range and then turn it up here. This is the volume for the frequency band. And then out here we have our master out. They have clipping, they have oversampling. So there's a lot going on. The only thing I don't like about this compressor, the interface, it is too big. It actually doesn't fit on my screen very properly. And I don't think there's a way to resize it. I've checked, even trying to go through the preset file settings, all that. It's a little weird. But still a good looking emulation. I don't know if there's something I'm missing with the resizing. But yeah, I just reset that whole thing accidentally. It'll be fine. But yeah, I'm not seeing anything here to resize. Hopefully it is there and I'll figure it out later. But pretty good compressor, pretty good emulation. I like the way it sounds. But that's pretty much it, guys. Check out those 3 plugins. The link is in the description. It'll take you to this blog page where you can check out and download those plugins if you are interested. So that's pretty much it. Check those out, add them to your arsenal, and see how that works out for you. Also, check my link in the description for my video series on PC specs and how it relates to music production. I'm looking to update that by the end of this year, going into next year. But currently, that series is there to help you understand how your computer and its internal parts works along with your DAW to give you a smooth experience when you are using your DAW. So if you're having issues with your DAW where you have latency issues, you're having playback issues, you're getting a lot of clicks, pops, crackling, you're getting a lot of stuttering, audio cutting in and out, your DAW is freezing a lot, it's crashing, this series will help you understand why that might be happening, and it'll also help you with possibly a solution to what you might need to do to fix it. It could be an easy fix, or it could be something as expensive as you need a new computer, you need a more updated computer with some more power. But that series will help you understand how much power you might need depending on your workflow and your workload. And also, it'll also help you understand what specs might be more important to you based on your functions and what you do in music production. So if you're a songwriter, you might not need as much power as if you were doing a lot of tracking, live instruments, and you got to mix it down, heavy orchestration, things of that nature. So that series will help you just really understand how it all works and give you a better understanding of what you're going to need computer resources wise, power wise, to help give you a smooth experience when you are doing whatever you do concerning music production. Also, there is a link in the description for a growing playlist for these videos that I do multiple times a week my live stream videos. So if you're looking for more free VST plugins, 100% free, definitely check out that playlist. It is a growing playlist. There's way over 400 videos up there presenting you guys with free VST plugins, 100% free. I try to make sure that I present plugins to you guys that are 100% free. So check out that playlist. Also, finally, there is another growing playlist for my series that I started this year titled 52 Weeks of Reaper, where every week for 52 weeks on Saturdays, I release a new video focusing on a key feature in Reaper. So that series is there just to highlight what makes Reaper such a great DAW, a good piece of software for you to have in your toolkit because of how flexible it is, how feature rich it is, how powerful, and how resource resource efficient it is. There we go. Pretty efficient with the resources. So you can get a lot done even if you don't have a super powerful computer. So definitely check out that series stuff and a lot of the key things that makes that software so great. All the key features that I don't see in a lot of DAWs. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for the video. Check back later this week for the next live stream where I'm going to be presenting you guys with more free VST plugins, and I'll have that arrangement fleshed out more to closer to a full song idea. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and as always, you will see me in the next video.